Welcome to week 2 with A Day with Pompey. Hope you enjoyed my last week's topic, No More Slaves. This week we're going to focus on what's in our current news, what is happening in our current news. With the Ferguson, with the death of Mike Brown, and an indictment that was not brought forth for Darren Wilson, and talk about a lot of other things that been going on. But today we're going to talk about we need a new plan, because this plan that we have seems to not be working. It seems that there is something that is wrong, and we need a new plan to get our agenda across and to get everybody on the same page. Now, what is the old plan? The old plan was our ancestors, they met in various places to spread the message, to spread a vision in their plan. They stayed in contact with each other. That was the old plan. They protested in the areas where they wanted liberty to be number one. Like Selma, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, Atlanta. They went down to Mississippi and they protested in them areas where they wanted liberty at. Okay? They marched for hours. They marched for miles, hand in hand, foot in foot, boycotting the transportation, boycotting and marched all the way up to Washington. Okay? They stood together. They stood strong together, even though they were attacked and beaten and even killed. The old plan was led by people such as Dr. Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Harriet Tubman. See, we have a lot of issues in our world today, and we are using our old ancestors' plan. But that plan got them somewhere. But the part that happened is that the plan failed because we had nobody to keep the plan up. When Martin Luther King and all of them, Coretta Scott and all of them, Jesse Jackson, people of that magnitude, when they marched for civil rights, when they marched together, they got the government to recognize that we are humans too. J.F. Kennedy passed laws for us. Lyndon B. Johnson didn't want to pass laws, but he passed laws. We forced their hand. But what happened was the plan failed, because the government began to listen to us. See, they don't want us to survive. Yes, they did build a system for us to fail. The white man wants to be in power. I'm not a racist, not all white folks, but it's like this: the rich and powerful want to control us. They want to have power over us. And when our ancestors, before the 1960s, before the 1950s, before the 1900s, those who fought against the government to be recognized as human beings, such as women who fought for their rights and blacks who fought for their slavery, our ancestors forced the government to recognize us, and they did. See, the rich and the powerful do not want to recognize us. They want to see us as second-class citizens. The way they treat our young children nowadays, officers killing young black kids, and kids and people having no respect for officers. How did the plan fail? What happened that we are back at the same place again that our ancestors fought for us not to be at? You know what happened? Our leaders died. They were in prison. We had no solid leader to march forward. Do you not know that when Dr. King died, do you not know when he died, there wasn't no other leader that stepped up? Well, we had Al Sharpton? Sure. We had Jesse Jackson? Come on, saved my life. We had no other leader that can lead us. Because when Dr. King died, everybody became afraid. So, we had no leader. The 70s was upon us. No leader to march forward. The government began to flood our streets with drugs, with money, and with an idea, a false hope of fortune and fame. They said, you know what? These blacks, these Latinos, these women, we're not going to let them get ahead. We already gave them civil rights. What we're going to do to control them and to stop them is to give them crack cocaine. Give them heroin. Tell them that drugs is cool. It's the new end. That's what we're going to do. Okay? That's what they did to us. Do you think that the CIA didn't plant drugs in our society to stop us? Plant them into our projects to stop us? The plan fell. And they did that. This is how the plan fell. Once the new generation arose, the meaning of life seemed pointless. Welfare came on the scene. It began to replace the fathers in the homes. The father figures begin to go out and become whoremongers. The mothers begin to do their own thing. They destroyed our households. That's what they did to us. After all that fighting our ancestors did, they came in and said, let's kill them off, let's flood the streets, let's destroy their household to prevent them from growing any more faster. No one taught our generation in the 70s, nor in the 80s, nor in the 90s. I mean, we had different sections of people who done certain things, but we didn't have a voice like Malcolm X. We didn't have a voice like Gandhi. We didn't have a voice like Dr. King, who gathered the masses together, black and white, male and female, atheist and Christian, Muslim and Jew, who gathered them together for a common cause. We forgot the generation. They forgot us. Having fame and money and nice clothes became the #1 goal. In the 70s, look, in the 70s they wore suits and they was flashy and coming pimps. That's how the plan fell. It fell. Parents began to abandon their children. It fell. We allowed an atheist lady to come into our schools and take out the word of God, and then our schools went down the drain. We need a new plan. We want the government to recognize that we are people. How do we get a new plan, Paul? What should we do, Paul? Because it seems in my mind, and in my opinion, the protests ain't working no more. Because the government said, oh, they protested before. Oh, they marched before. Oh, they looted before. They ain't doing nothing new. How do we get them to recognize that we will no longer tolerate this nonsense that they are pitting in our streets, doing to our people across the world? This is what we should do. Number one, we should continue what we're doing. Holding the meetings. Like our ancestors done, holding meetings to get the word out and get the message out. Continue to march. Because when you begin to march, you got a lot of news coverage and tweetings. And you got people who will sacrifice everything just to get the word of what's going on. Continue to march. Stand stronger together. Let's stop judging each other. Let's stop worrying about who's wearing what and who's doing this. Let's stand together as people. Stand like our ancestors stood strong. How the blacks stood strong with the whites to get civil rights. Stand strong. You gotta continue to protest. It's good because now we are rallying, we are crying out. Continue. But here's where we must do something new at. Change who we are. Find out who we are inside. Stop looking at reality shows and stop looking at the world and trying to imitate those on TV, because they ain't trying to imitate you. They're giving you a false life. Find out who you are. And when you find out who you are, then you can continue on with the new plan. Love one another unconditionally. The Bible teaches us continuously to, one, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And if you can't love your neighbor, that means you really hate yourself. That's clear cut. Yeah, you had never had somebody who loved themselves but hated people. You must love each other, whether black and white, whether they did wrong or didn't do wrong. Love them, whether they're gay or they're straight, whether they're Jew or Muslim, whatever. Love them regardless. Love them unconditionally, because love, my sisters and brothers, can change the world. And if you don't believe me, look at John 3:16. For I so loved the world that I gave you my only begotten Son. It changed the world. Live your life on your level. Stop trying to keep up with the Jeffersons and the Joneses and the Rihannas and the Beyoncés and the Jay-Z's. You know you can't afford Barberry and you on welfare. You know you can't afford Vera Wang and Alexander Wang and you were getting an SSI check. You know you can't afford it with that little bit of money you get every month. Live on your level. But don't worry about what's the newest trend. Do you not know me? I wear what I want to wear. I tell people in R&B, I ain't got no style. I wear hoodies in the wintertime, no jackets. I wear ball shirts and flip-flops in R&B. That's who I am. I'm comfortable in, man. That's who I am. I live on my level. Live on your level. Because when you begin not to overindulge your spending, see, we're hurting their pockets. We're hurting what they love so much, and that's their money. See, this is what we need to hit them at. See, we hit them with the law and got to change. And they came with a deflection. But now we hit them here. Live on your level. Stop going out there buying expensive stuff. I'm not saying you can't wear name brand stuff, but stop going into debt over stupid stuff. Pay your rent. Pay your bills. Live on your level. Find a strong leader. We need a strong leader, one who can gather the people. Do you not know why the Occupy Wall Street fell? They had no one leader. They had no leader that spoke out, that can gather the masses. We need one leader, not no Al Sharptons, not no Jesse Jacksons. We need a leader, someone who understands. One leader that can gather the masses and contain everything and speak out like Dr. King, like Gandhi, like Malcolm X. Include all people who care. Everybody cares. Find out who cares about your cause, about the cause. If you want equal rights, you want recognized by the law, find those who care and walk with them. Get your own house in order. How can you want the government to get its house in order if your house is not in order? The government did flood the house, destroyed the house. So if you want the government to change his house, you must first change your house. Because in order for God to change, in order for anything for me to work with God, I must change who I am, change my house. I can't judge my next door neighbor's house if my house is not in order. Get your house in order. Get your family in order. Make sure that everything is right with your children. They're getting the proper attention and proper love. Get your house in order before you try to tell the government to get their house in order. Find a new vision. What do we look forward to after we get what we want? What do we really want? Do we want the cops to stop killing us? Drugs stop flowing in our streets? What do we want? We need a vision now. I need a new vision. Because the one we have is kind of bleak and stare. It's kind of dark and grim. Train up the next generation. Our generation is failing. These young kids are failing. They don't want school. They want the rapper life, the drug life. They're having sex at 10 years old. Wish my daughters would. I'll probably break their neck. I go to jail for like, what? I'm going to heaven. I ain't worried about none of that. Train up our generation. We are leaving them behind like those who left us behind. They need, look at it, they're cursing their mamas out, slapping their mamas, breaking and stealing. They have no fear of life, no fear of death. Train them up, lead them, be positive role models. Stop allowing them to look to celebrities and entertainers as their role models, because they are bad role models. Train them up, teach them, encourage them, train them. Train up a child the way he might go, and he would never stray from the path. He may indulge here and there, but he will always get back on the path because you train them right. Train our generation. Don't become distracted again. Because when our agenda gets across, the government's going to come back and they're going to try to bring something new to distract us. When they passed civil rights laws and all kinds of bills like that for women's rights and all like that, they distracted us. They did something again. But when we get our agenda across, we must stay on task and keep fighting the fight. And if our leaders die because of what we're trying to push, find another leader. Do not forget our generation. Don't allow commercials to distract you, and new trends and new gossip, who's this, who that. They put all that crap about Bill Cosby on TV and not knowing that Ferguson was in turmoil. Try to distract us. You don't become distracted again when our agenda gets across. Stay on message. Don't allow your feelings and your opinions to get in the way. Stay on message. We need to pick up where our ancestors have failed us at. They got us this far. Let's get even further. We need a new plan. Let's find us a leader. Get our house in order before we ask them to get their house in order. We can do this. If our ancestors done it, we can do it. And with the help of God's grace and God's mercy and now God's promise, the black community can get back together. The Latino community, the white community, the Asian community, the Jew community, whoever you are, we can get it. We may have different religious beliefs, different political beliefs, but we have one common goal, is that we believe that we are all each equally human beings, and we all deserve a right into this world, into what it produces for us. We need a new plan. I'll see you next week.